Hi, welcome back to Neptune Rising Astrology. Tonight is the Virgo lunar eclipse. Now, this is a big deal because this is the first eclipse in Virgo that we're going to be having for the next 2 years. So the last one is going to be in February of 2027. So we are really entering a whole new chapter here. So buckle up. Now, eclipse season is a little volatile, a little chaotic. You never really know what it's going to bring. It's like a full moon on steroids. Now, in Virgo, with the South Node, which represents what we're releasing, what we're purging, this eclipse is really about learning to let go of perfectionism. Virgo represents the little details of life. Virgo represents reality. If you think about Pisces, which the sun is in Pisces, we're in Pisces season right now. Pisces represents this big picture, amorphous emotion, experience, abstract love, like all of these things that are kind of almost ineffable, indescribable feelings and experiences. Now, Virgo, on the other hand, is logical, practical, organized. Virgo is the little details that make up the big picture. Virgo is the little actions that you take every day to make your dreams come true. Virgo is, what do you eat every day? What do you put into your body? What are you working in service of? What is this big Piscean concept or belief that you are executing in your day-to-day earthly reality? What are you working towards? Now, I think Virgos have this tendency to be very perfectionist. Both Pisces and Virgo are very idealistic signs, but in different ways. Virgo can be very critical, very nitpicky, because it is so focused on the details. It is so focused on the nitty-gritty aspects of life that sometimes it can forget the big picture, and that's where Pisces comes in. So these are the two energies that we're really balancing at this full moon, at this lunar eclipse. This eclipse does have a bit of a heavier vibe to it because it is opposite Saturn. Saturn is currently in Pisces at 22 degrees. That's just 1 degree away from the sun, which is at 23 degrees Pisces. So we're simultaneously experiencing this Sun-Saturn conjunction and this Moon-Saturn opposition. And that's, any planet that is conjunct the sun is going to be opposite the moon at a full moon, or vice versa. So what does this mean? Saturn is the planet of obstacles, challenges, reality, maturity, time. Saturn can be very burdensome. Saturn can feel like a barrier or a blockage. At its best, Saturn is hard work and boundaries and structural support. But at its worst, Saturn is heavy and drags you down. So with this Sun-Saturn conjunction that we're experiencing this week, this is a time where we're really taking stock of our responsibilities, our commitments, our flaws, all the things that we need to work on in our lives, the ways that we need to show up for people. It can feel like a lot of pressure, but it can also be a very valuable new beginning, a time to set intentions for yourself, how you want to show up moving forward. And with the moon opposite Saturn, this can feel very uncomfortable. This can feel like an emotional blockage or barrier of sorts. It might be hard to feel really connected to your feelings or really connected to other people right now, because there is this serious vibe. There is this deep need to go within. In the tarot, Virgo is represented by the Hermit card. There is this sense of needing to go within, especially with the rest of the chart of this lunar eclipse. Mercury is currently stationing to go retrograde and in Aries, and it's in a conjunction with Venus, which has been in Aries and has been retrograde since March 1st. Now, Venus will be retrograde for 6 weeks, so from March 1st to April 12th. Mercury will only be retrograde for 3 weeks, But these two together, there is a lot of reflection happening, especially with Venus retrograde. We're really needing to take a look at our relationships. We're really needing to take a look at our friendships, our relationships to family, our partnerships. What do we desire? What do we want? We're needing to do some digging and figure out what it is that we really need out of all of our interpersonal dynamics. What needs to change? And with Mercury stationing retrograde right next to Venus, that's what we're thinking about. That's what we're talking about. Mercury over the next 3 weeks is going to be having a lot of conversations about Venus retrograde things. Mercury is the planet of thoughts, communication, conversation. Mercury is the messenger god. So this is everything we're thinking about right now. We're thinking about Venus things. We're thinking about our relationships. We're thinking about what needs to change. How do we need to show up better in our relationships? What is our responsibility? And what do we need from others? Do we need to set boundaries in certain relationships? With this Saturn presence here, that might be the case. We're taking a look at our responsibilities to people, our commitments, the ways that we've shown up and the ways we haven't, and also the ways that others have shown up for us and the ways they haven't. And with both Mercury and Venus being retrograde in Aries, there's this very kind of harsh, direct, saying it like it is energy. So I would advise you to try to think before you speak over the next 3 weeks, especially because Mercury in Aries can be very careless with its words. Mercury in Aries does not really like to have a filter or think before it speaks. It's very impulsive with its words. It's impulsive about bringing up certain conversations. And with Venus retrograde right now, that can be very hurtful. There's a lot of harsh energy in the air right now. And in some ways, all this Aries energy is a good thing because it's helping us be very direct and very honest with what we need from people. And, it's helping people be very direct and honest with what they need from us so that we can together work towards having the most healthy, fulfilling relationships in our lives. And it can also help you be honest with yourself about, what do I want out of my life? Outside of relationships even, what do I want out of my career? What do I want out of my home? What do I want? Period. What do I want, This can be a great time to just tune into your own needs, your own desires. If you're someone who, tends to be a bit of a people pleaser, if you're someone who doesn't have great energetic boundaries and can just absorb other people's needs and not be able to see what it is you truly need, this can be really, really productive time for you. March is a very intense month this year because there's so much of this going inward. There's so much of this retrograde energy. There's so many conversations that need to happen. It's also eclipse season. So there's so much volatile emotional energy happening. This is a time where you cannot expect things to be perfect. It's going to be messy. We're in Pisces season. But what you can do is to try to be kind to yourself. Again, this is a South Node lunar eclipse. The South Node represents purging and releasing. We are purging this perfectionism. We are releasing this critical energy. This is an intense vibe, but it can be so hugely productive. Now we're gonna have another eclipse at the end of this month, and I'll make another video about that when the time comes. But for now, don't try to force anything with this energy. It's not really the time to manifest or do any rituals. Eclipse energy is just too volatile, too chaotic to really get a handle on. I'm gonna do a little tarot reading to get some more insight on what this eclipse has in store for us. Oh, okay. So we've got the Seven of Cups, the Knight of Wands, and the Three of Cups. So this is really a time where we're taking a moment to really look at all the opportunities ahead of us, all the options that we have. And this is very Virgo too, you know? Virgo is a mutable sign. Mutable signs are very much aware of things can change at any moment. It's important to be flexible, it's important to be adaptable. It's important to take stock of all your opportunities that are ahead of you, all the different options. But we're also moving forward with a lot of passion, charging towards what we want, what we really believe in. And this is a very like Aries energy right here. This is very much we're going straight in. Oh, mango, no. We are going straight into this Venus and Mercury retrograde with a force. We are a force to be reckoned with. But at the end of this, there is a reunion of sorts. There is a coming back together with someone. I'm going to draw some clarifying cards. Let's see. Let me get an advice card, actually. Six of Swords. So with this reunion, there is a need to move through something together. There is a need to kind of leave behind one way of thinking about things, one perspective for a new one. What are we moving towards? The Four of Cups. Yeah. There is a need to be more. There is a need to go within again. There is a need to pour into your own cup at this time. Even if you're, having fun with friends, if you're reuniting with someone, if you're hanging out, whatever it may be, we need to make a move towards sitting with our own emotions without all the noise around us. This is how you're going to reach a new perspective. This is how you're going to change your thinking. I'm just going to pull one more card to see the overall energy. I just want one. Page of Swords. Yeah. So it's important to be really open-minded at this time. It's important to be open to a new way of seeing things, especially because we are just at the very beginning of Mercury retrograde. There's so many conversations that are going to happen this month. So much is subject to change. And what's interesting is there's no earth in this whole reading, which is kind of funny for Virgo because Virgo is an earth sign. It just goes to show this is a very emotional time. We might be really in our heads, but we need to be open to seeing things in a new way, open to having these conversations with people. Someone might be wanting to come to you and talk to you about something that is a complete blind spot for you. But it's important to be receptive. It's important to have this place of openness within where you don't know everything. And there's so much that we can move through in these conversations. We really have no idea what will be in store for us for the rest of this month. No, yeah, just be open. Don't be too hard on yourself. And I will see you guys at the next eclipse. Thank you so much for watching. please like and comment, subscribe if you want to see another video. Thank you. Mwah. Bye.